Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this New Year's Day matchup. It's the Browns and the Vikings, and it's coming up next.
Kenny Nwangu now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. First down, here's Cousins. He'll buy some time right, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And all the way down to the 5. A big play there for Minnesota. 5 yards from the end zone, first and goal. On play action, Cousins. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out. To the 20. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, first and 10 at the 20. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Working with 2nd and 5 now. First carry for Nick Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Troy Hill picks it, and the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play
and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, 42 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Vikings nothing.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
86-yard line.
Play fake. Cousins. Forced out to his left. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Off the play fake, Cousins. On the move to his left. He'll dump this off to Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now Cousins. They'll roll him out right. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. After all that, they only wind up with a yard. It's second down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to...
Touchdown! Tyler Conklin from 6 yards away. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied here in the second quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. After the sack on first down. Man, pressure coming, and they got him once again. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Well, that was a third long run, and to me, that was just a wave the white flag kind of a situation. Obviously, they don't want to risk the chance of throwing it downfield and risking a turnover in this section of the field.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. We'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. 3 yards the gain there, second down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. To throw again on second down. Cousins. First down now, but that clock rolling.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
They go play action. Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Browns drive about to get started. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw caught by Higgins.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
First down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the North is in this dome. That has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
2nd and 7. Final play of the half, Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Browns. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Rifles one, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
Joseph on for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Back to it after the pick six. Mayfield to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw, Mayfield. He's got Higgins over the middle. He showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. It's caught over the middle. Hooper.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd down and 4, Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 23.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. Here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll run with Chubb. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. It's the Browns with a deficit there. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Kareem Hunt, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Browns 14.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score, but bottom line, they are still on top with the football, and a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. They start the drive with Cook. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. To throw is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to take over again on offense, out comes Cleveland. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got the hook up to Landry. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Mayfield to throw it. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. 2 yards on the pickup there. And they're going to have a third down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. They'll be hoping to work a little clock and try to add on to this slim fourth quarter lead. But whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Again, it's Cook. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Now Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. It just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the